What's up guys, I'm the Dorky Deviant and we're here with my second haul video. So this video is going to have a Grail, there's a bunch of Ava stuff in here, there's some plushies in here, and a fashion pickup and a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to get into is the Grail figure, because I've been on the hunt for this for months. I was finally able to pick it up, so let's go ahead and open it. Saitom, what are you doing up there? For me? Oh cool, thanks. In this box right here, the packaging on this is pretty ridiculous. Some of you might be able to guess what this is. Oh yeah, here we have the Saitom illustration of the 1/7 scale Stella by Max Factory. This was not easy to get, so I got this figure basically to start my new theme of I'm doing a streetwear shelf. So I've got a few different streetwear themed figures coming in soon and on pre-order. So, and this is the first one I got. You know, why not get one of the best ones out, which is the Stella here. So I thought this was a really good one to start out with. I'm really looking forward to this. So the way that I got her was really crazy. So let me go ahead and tell you the story of how I was able to get her. Okay, so I started hunting for this figure probably around like January or February of this year, and she actually went up for pre-order and the prototype images and all that stuff came out way before I even really decided I wanted to start figure collecting, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to get her. You know, I noticed that her price was the best on Good Smile US. That was the only place that still had her reasonably priced, and you know, I've just been waiting. You know, I'd heard a lot from other people in the community saying that she'll probably pop up on Good Smile US like maybe 3 or 4 months after her release in Japan, which I think was sometime in late 2021. So anyway, probably about 6 months into this, someone had messaged me and said that there was a Mandarake link for her with a pretty good price. So I was just like, you know what, maybe I should just go ahead and go that route. The only issue is I've been trying to, you know, keep whatever figures I am getting under $200 if I can. The Mandarake link that I was sent was a bit more than that. I think it probably would have been like $260 or $270 shipped. And I got my invoice from Mandarake and I kind of sat on that for about a week. The day that I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for her, I was like, okay, well, let's just check Good Smile US one more time. And who would have thought? There she was. She was in stock the day that I was actually going to pay the invoice for Mandarake. And I was able to just get her on Good Smile US for like probably about $100 cheaper. So I was just like, well, I'm definitely doing that. I kept it under $200. I am really happy I was able to get her through there. It was a really crazy day that day, and it was really one of the first real like big figure kind of like moments where it was just like the planets aligned basically for me to be able to get her for what I wanted in the first place. And finally that month-long wait for Good Smile US finally paid off. So the moral of the story is have patience when you're buying figures. You know, you don't have to just rush out and buy their aftermarket, because Stella's aftermarket now has gone up exponentially. That's the story, so let's go ahead and get her out of the box. Wow. Guys, this figure is really nice. So many cool details on her. I can't wait to get into it. Okay, so now we have her out of the box. She is incredible. Like, I heard a bunch of other people saying how much they liked this figure, and they were not wrong. Okay, so the first thing that really stands out to me is probably her jacket. She's got on this little kind of like puffer jacket kind of thing, and it's got like this subtle like metallic glossy looking finish on it. That's really cool. The other thing I really like on her jacket is it has these little green like tassels connected to the zippers on the pockets there. That's really cool. And one of the main things that really sold me on her when I first saw her was her shoes. They got this really kind of like almost like Air Jordan 1 looking vibe to them. And you know, I have a bunch of fashion content on my channel as well, and you know, I'm really into sneakers. They look really good and she looks super cute with them on. But yeah, not only that, there's a bunch of other details on here that are really cool too. Obviously the tank top that she's wearing and the super short booty shorts. I mean, come on, it's good, it's sexy, it's fun. You know, her shorts are unzipped there a little bit. I mean, what more could you really ask for? I mean, let's be honest here. Really fun figure in that regard. Some of the other stuff is, oh yeah, also her tube socks. Her tube socks are really cute. I really like those a lot as well. Now, one of the things about the Saitom figures, they're based on Saitom's illustrations, and this is from a particular line called DF, which from what I understand stands for devilishly fashionable. And you know, there's a bunch of DF stuff written all over this figure, like on her shirt, of course, it's on her shoes, it's on the base, on the zipper. She even has a little choker here that she's wearing, and it's on that as well. And on her belt. There's a little subtle DF little thing on her belt as well. Really like that too. So those are some of the like clothing details type stuff that I really like. I think her outfit is really good. Really hits that kind of like streetwear vibe and keeps it really sexy. Very good job on that side, Tom. Love her outfit. Okay, so the next really cool thing that I want to talk about is her hair. Okay. Her hair is really nice. It has these little like a gradient kind of like light purple. You know, this really kind of goes for like the pastel kind of look. It's got like the pink goes into the purple, and then there's like this little ray of light that they kind of put in like around the top of her hair as well, that I think looks really cool. You know, her twin tails look really cool as well. I like the sculpt of her hair and just the overall sculpt. And one of the other really cool details is the little hearts in her eyes. Very fun, very cute. I love that. And then, okay, so you look at this figure and you're just like, man, she's really got drip, doesn't she? Well, yes, she does. And she literally does as well. If you look at her horns and her little tail, they got like this little red metallic finish on them that looks really nice, but it's literally got these little drips kind of coming off of them on the horns and the tail. It looks really cool. It's just another little like solid detail that's just like aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Very cool. Really love that about this figure. Her base, it's acceptable. You know, it's got the little like DF logo on it. It fits. It's white and pink. I really don't have any complaints with it. It is plastic foot pegs. There's no metal foot pegs here, but other than that, you know, I think the base is fine. So base isn't bad. I want to go ahead and look at her box as well. Okay, so the box that she came in, it's pretty standard box. I mean, I think most of the Saitom Max Factory figures, or the DF line anyway, comes in a box similar to this. There was another one from this line that had the same style box on it as well. So And it's not too big. It's basically just enough to fit her in. And she is a pretty big figure. She's a big, thick girl.
Dummy thick.
So, big figure. Not the box isn't crazy big considering she's a pretty large figure. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the size of her real quick. She's actually a 1/7 scale figure, but you wouldn't think that looking at her. I think she really probably looks more like about a 1/6, but I don't know what her dimensions are in the illustration or what the original intended size that Saitama wanted her to be, just based on the illustration. But yeah, I think she's a little bit bigger than a 1/7 here, but her box I think works great for, you know, the international buyers and for shipping. Not too big, just enough for her to fit in and everything be secure and be safe. That's all you really need. Can't complain there. So final thoughts on this figure. They knocked it out of the park. I love this figure. Saitama art I'm really starting to get into now. So there will actually be some more Saitama stuff on the channel at a later date. I already got another Saitama. Actually, I have several Saitama figures coming in. So look forward to that. There's more Saitama on its way. So anyway, enough with Stella, you know, my first Grail. Love it. But let's get into the next box now. Okay, so now it's time to get into one of these big old boxes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this one. Okay, so this one I've actually had for a little while now. It's got some fun stuff into it. Let's just get out the first item. Ooh, okay. We got some Ava action going on. Okay, so here's our first Evangelion item. The Dorky Deviant presents an Ava fan. Hi, my name is the Dorky Deviant and I'm an Evangelion and Mecha fan. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm a really big Ava fan. I've been an Ava fan for a really long time, since before the Rebuild movies. And yeah, it's always been one of my favorite anime, if not my top favorite anime. This anime has always held a very close place in my heart. I really love Ava a lot. Probably more than just the normal Ava fan. I've known about it for such a long time. And yeah, it's just one of my faves, man. So anyway, here we have this Evangelion Unit 1 Ichiban Kuji. Yeah, let's go ahead and open it and get it out. It's a pretty big boy. Okay, this is what it looks like in the blister. Not sure why, it's just pretty clean presentation here. Now the figure itself. This guy really is not bad at all for a Kuji. You know, obviously I think with Kujis, they're a little bit less quality with just like sculpt and paint and everything, but this one in particular, you know, it's basically a static figure. I know for mecha figure, God, it just won't stop. It's for mecha figures. It's I know a lot of them are like they're posable and they have joints and all that stuff. And there's a few that are static, but this one is, and I think it's, you know, for the price, which this wasn't a very expensive Kuji at all, very affordable. And I wanted one for, I got this actually for a shoot that I'm doing. a fashion shoot to go along with something else. So you'll probably see that before this video even releases. So if you want and haven't seen that, you can check that out. There'll be a little fashion video that revolves around Evangelion Unit 1. Yep, and that's all there is. You know, he's holding the little staff. I can't remember which staff this is. I don't think it's the Lance of Longinus. It's a different one. I think it's from one of the Rebuild movies, but yeah, this guy's really cool. His sculpt actually isn't bad, you know, for not a whole lot of shading and stuff like that, which is expected on the Kuji. But, you know, for what this is, I think it's not bad. I think it'll look good on my shelf. There probably, well, at this point, there definitely is going to be an Evangelion shelf. So, probably one of the cooler things about this is kind of the metallic finish on the staff here. And, you know, its size is pretty good. But, you know, other than that, I don't think there's really a whole lot to go over. You know, details-wise, it's pretty standard for Ava Unit 1, I would say. The base is cool. It's got like this little like narrow base, almost like a arrow shaped or something kind of like that. But yeah, overall, I like this. I think it's going to go perfect for the shoot that I'm going to do. So glad I picked this up. Let's get on to the next figure. Okay, so it's time to move on to the next item in this box. You know, obviously that Evangelion Ichiban Kuji took up the most space in this box. Oh yeah, I forgot to show. Came with the Ami Ami card for, I don't remember which month this was, but Ami Ami card for the month. And then we have the figure. This figure is from an anime called Samurai Girls. It's actually an ecchi anime series. It's I actually bought this figure first, and then I went and watched the anime. And the anime ended up being really funny. It was kind of like a comedy, ecchi, kind of harem sort of thing. Probably not everyone's speed, but I thought it was really funny, and it had a bunch of hot waifus in it, like this girl right here. But yeah, I saw this figure and I was immediately into her red hair and just the whole look. But let's go ahead and get her out. Put that right there. Okay, so this character's name is Jubei. She is one of the main girls in this anime series, and basically she fell from the sky, and she's a master samurai. Thus the name Samurai Girl. Okay, just kind of clear base with a little design on it. It's got this little like flowery design on it. I'll put some B-roll of it here. So here she is. This is Jubei from Samurai Girls. This is a 1/8 scale. It's from a company called Hobby Japan. I don't know how much figures they make these days. This is a figure from 2012, I believe, but wow, this figure is very nice, very spicy. One of the other themes that I'm going to be going for, and you know, is going to be a new part of my shelf, is just like hot waifus with sweet weapons. You know, I mean, she's got the samurai swords here, so this fit right into that. And she's got this very light pink, almost just like a whitish cream bathing suit on. It almost looks like her skin. It's a little bit hard to tell the difference between where the skin ends and the bathing suit begins. Maybe not. That was part of the reason I liked it. Who knows? But yeah, this figure is actually really nice. I'm surprised. So when I watched this anime, this character actually ended up being my favorite character, despite the fact that I bought this figure, then watched the anime, and yeah, she still ended up being my favorite. She was very cute, very sweet, just kind of like a happy-go-lucky kind of character, maybe a little bit ditzy, or maybe very ditzy, but she was really fun. Her ideas and philosophy about love and other things I thought was really unique and really cool and really good. That's one of the reasons that I liked her so much. But let's get into the cool details on her. Okay, so let's just start out with her face and her hair. Very good sculpt. Her face looks incredibly good, and like her eyes and everything, they just look phenomenal. And then I think one of the other standouts are the swords themselves. They look really good. They have like this kind of dual, kind of like glossy on the sheath, and then matte on the hilt here. And it's kind of the same on the other one too. Obviously she has one of the really long katanas, and then a little smaller katana as well. Oh yeah, and another thing, part of this big sword here is actually tucked underneath one of the straps of her bathing suit. I'm not entirely sure why. What would she need to do that for? I don't know, but yeah. And of course, you know, this big sword, not only is it that, but she's got it nice and secured between the pillows here. You know, this sword is very secure. It's not going anywhere, let's be honest. I really like her shoes. I'm not sure if this is like a traditional Japanese like style shoe or a platform or whatever this kind of is. I feel like it probably is. And then also she's got this little like garter belt thing on her leg right here, and a couple other little details. But you know, there's a couple different versions of this figure. There was this one, I think this is actually like an exclusive version, and I think there's another one where she has like the more traditional like red bathing suit on. I think it's red, but yeah, there's that. And then she has the little emblem from the series where she has the little hairband in right there. The shading on her hair is really nice. There's a little bit of other shading like around her legs. It's actually a really solid figure. I'm surprised. She was a very affordable figure, and it's kind of weird. I actually saw this figure at a convention not that long ago, and she was like $130, but I got her off AmiAmi pre-owned for like, I think $50. I'll put the yen price on the screen as well. But yeah, very affordable figure. I'm actually really impressed with it. You know, she just looks really good. She's really hot. Obviously it's supposed to be really sexy, so they nailed all of that. So yeah, I'm liking this figure more than I thought I would, so that's good. Like this one. Okay, conclusions on the box. I really like both of these items. They were actually pretty cheap on AmiAmi pre-owned. I think there was just like 12K shipped for both of these. Not bad, especially considering the bigger box that they came in. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next box. Let's see what's in this box. Okay, this box is a special one. I'm actually going to describe this as a box of second chances. You know, I had the opportunity to buy both of these items that are in this box domestically for a pretty good price. But, you know, this is just another example of sometimes if you patiently wait for the right time, you can get what you want for a lot less than you originally thought you could. So I actually ended up passing on both these items originally, and I got them for a cheaper price from Japan, also thanks to a proxy coupon for shipping, which saved a ton. But let's go ahead and see what's in here. Oh God, oh God. I'll pick those up later. Okay, the first thing I'm going to get into is this thing right this year. Okay, this thing is kind of hilarious because apparently it was shipped domestically around Japan from the person who had it on, I think, Mercari to the proxy warehouse. It was literally shipped in this bag. It says, "Get happy." Okay, so for those that don't know, this is actually one of the bags that you get when you go to one of the gacha or the crane arcades in Japan. They give you all these bags to fill up all your winnings with, and I guess the person just decided to ship it in this bag. It was more taped up when I got it out, and I took off the tape to check everything out, but this is another one of my Evangelion purchases, and this is actually one of my favorites. This is a plushie. Oh my goodness. It's a pen. Okay, so I had originally seen this a while ago. I think it was in 2021 sometime, and I passed up on it. So there's a little story behind this one too. I originally saw this, I think it was on Hot Topic, and it was like 25 bucks or something. It may have been a little bit more than that shipped, but it was like less than $30 shipped. And I was just like, well, I think one of the anime conventions was coming up, and I was just like, well, I'll see if I can pick it up there. And this was, I had checked it on Hot Topic like a couple of days before the convention, and it was still available. So I get to the convention, and someone has it there for like 80 bucks. And I was just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. So I immediately pulled up Hot Topic to be like, okay, I'm gonna go put the order for this into Hot Topic right now. It was sold out, it was gone. So I wasn't able to get it through there, and I was just like, oh man. So fast forward to my next anime convention, which was, okay, October last year in 2021 to May of 2022, I'm on the hunt for it again. I see it at a convention again, and again, it's overpriced. It's like 85 bucks or 80 bucks, 75, something like that. I'm just like, there's no way. So I get on Mercari Japan. I find it on there for super cheap. This thing was like 15 bucks. 15 bucks on Mercari Japan. Yeah, I actually got a much cheaper price on this than I originally would have if I would have bought it domestically. But let's go ahead and talk about the plush itself. So this plush, obviously, it is really big and it is really cute. So that's the main thing that it's got going for it. In terms of quality, it's actually not that great of quality. It kind of feels like a crane game prize. There is that, but mainly I just like the design of this thing. I mean, look how cute it is. And one of the other cool things is he's got his little backpack, his little pack, or whatever that thing is that he wears in the anime. As soon as I saw this plush, I was just like, I gotta have it. I'm so glad I was finally able to get it. Wish the quality was a little bit better, but for a crane game prize, it's actually not bad, and it's really big. It's still soft. It just doesn't have like that, whatever the stuffing they use, like the squishmallows and whatnot. It's not really like that. It's more like a standard stuffing for a plush. And the material, it's a little bit on the rough side. It's not like super soft. It is soft, it's just not like super crazy soft. But either way, I would still recommend this. I mean, just the design on its own I think is really good. Just the quality could be a little bit better. That's really the only complaints I have about it. But yeah, love me some Pen. Let's go ahead and get into the next thing. Okay, now it's time for the last figure in this box, so let's go ahead and get her out. Oh yes, here we have something that I've also been looking forward to. Okay, here we have a Bulma. so here we have a Banpresto Bulma. This is from the Glitter and Glamours line. A pretty cool figure. This is definitely a prize figure, but this is one of the bigger ones that you can find. Okay, so this is another figure that I could have gotten domestically for a decent price. I think around $70 or something. And I ended up finding her in Japan, I think off Mercari again, for a lot less than that. So this was another kind of like second chance figure, and this is one I'd been wanting for a while. I definitely had been wanting a Bulma, and this was my favorite one that I had found, so I finally was able to get her. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I've not opened her yet. Let's see what we got in here. We have a pretty standard kind of cardboard piece that comes in a lot of Banpresto prize figures. A lot of them come in this little cardboard here. And then we got to get her together. This doesn't look too intensive, so I'll be right back. Alright, so here she is. This is another one for my OG waifu theme. I mean, it's Bulma. Everyone kind of knows who she is. I'm actually a huge Dragon Ball fan as well. So Bulma's always been, you know, one of my top ladies, top waifus, going all the way back to my teenage years and high school years. Bulma was definitely one that I had my eyes on a lot in those days. Alright, so maybe there's a slight theme to this video. There's been a lot of like short shorts and a bikini and that kind of thing. This one plays right into this. You know, I love her bikini top with the short shorts and, you know, like all her little tactical gear here. And then of course, I mean, then obviously the bikini top is like a camo, kind of like military vibes going on. And then of course she's got the gun. And this is her Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball design. And yeah, like she's actually pretty good. She's not like the tier of like the Stella that we opened earlier. There actually are a few similarities between these two, but you know, this is obviously a prize figure. It's not going to be nearly the same level of detail. You know, there's not really hardly any shading. There's like a few details in like her, like the scrunches and folds on her shorts here. And beyond that, you know, and on her socks here, but other than that, there's really not a whole lot. The sculpt, I think, is fine. Her hair looks pretty good. I mean, I really don't have any complaints about her hair. You know, it's just a prize figure-esque kind of figure. You know, not a whole lot of shading. Most of the panels are like one color, just like a one tone, with maybe a couple small little details here and there. But yeah, I mean, even for just a prize figure, I like the design enough where I preferred to have gotten this over like a scale of her or some of the other options that are out there. So this was my favorite Bulma that I came across. Really glad to have her in the collection now. I will have a Dragon Ball shelf, and there'll be a whole shonen figure unboxing coming up soon as well. So yeah, OG waifu. So box conclusions, you know, I bundled these two items together and had them sent over from Japan, and I was able to use a proxy coupon to save on shipping, because obviously with a big old plush like this, shipping is probably going to be a bit more, and it was, but I actually was able to get the shipping for free with the proxy coupon, so I was really happy about that. You know, and if you're going to get anything off shipping, you might as well do something like get a plush or something big that can cover the shipping that would normally be astronomical. Now, I did surface for this shipment as well. I actually do surface for most of my shipments, but you know, plush shipments for like EMS or DHL or any of these other options is just exorbitant. It's just insane how much it is. And even with it being on surface, it's still like a good bit. So not exactly my favorite, but you know, there'll be more plushie shipping stuff in the next box, so they'll hint at what's in there. Now, here's another thing that's very important that I want to touch on. Okay, so when you're buying off Mercari Japan, here's a little tip, because you know, Mercari Japan, it's an open market. It's not like a retail shop like AmiAmi. You know, there can be like bootleg figures or fake figures on there, or just bootleg or fake merchandise in general. Now, this is an important thing to know when you're shopping on there. And this was one of the reasons, like this Bulma, for example, one of the reasons it took so long for me to find her was I was trying to make sure I was getting an authentic product. And one of the ways that you can verify that is looking right here on the box somewhere. You'll see a little sticker, and usually it's an indication of a sticker of authenticity. It's basically the authenticity like certificate or sticker for that particular product. You know, this Bulma has one, and even on the tag on the plush here, it's got a little thing. This one actually doesn't have a sticker, but it does have the little Evangelion officially licensed thing on it. And most of the figures and a lot of the other items that you can buy have these things on them, like have a little sticker like this. Most of them do. So when you're shopping online from a place like Yahoo Auctions Japan or Mercari Japan, when you're looking through the pictures, make sure you can spot one of these stickers if you can. You know, that's a really big tip. Hope that helps you out. But let's go ahead and get into the next box. Okay, now we have the biggest box of the day. And you can probably guess why this is the biggest box. There's a plush in here, so there is at least that much. AmiAmi card. We're going to start with this right here. Okay, so here we have the Evangelion Rei Ayanami 1/6 scale from Kotobukiya. This is actually a really old design. I think this originally came out in like 2010 or something, and they re-released her several times. I believe this one's from the most recent re-release of her. And I had been looking for this figure for a while too. I thought I had gotten a better deal on her, but it turns out I didn't get as good of a deal as I thought I had originally had. Her retail price was super low for a 1/6 scale. It was like, I think like 7,800 yen, like really inexpensive. And obviously that piggybacks from it originally coming out in 2010. I just went ahead and grabbed her. I think she was something like 12,000 yen. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get her out of the box. Okay. Cool box, by the way, can't complain. I don't mind these little like clear boxes like this. Ooh. Okay, so there's actually not even any pegs or anything. She just kind of lays right in. So her little fingertips right on the tip of the Unit 0 head right here. Wiggle it between her thighs and get it kind of secure. And I think that's really about all you really need to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about her. I really like her pose. I think it's got a really dynamic pose. You know, her kind of laying on the little sculpture of the Ava Unit 0, I think is really cool. Her plug suit has this little like pearlescent kind of white to it that I really like. Her hair is also pretty good. It goes from like a more like matte looking light blue, and it like gradients into like a little bit more darker blue and a more glossy blue on the way down as well. I like that. Her face is pretty good too. I think there might be a couple of angles where she might look a little off, at least that's what I thought in pictures, but looking at her now, I honestly think that she really doesn't look bad. I actually really like this figure. This was one of the Reis that I wanted. I got a lot more Evangelion stuff on the way as well. So, you know, again, I'm a big fan of Evangelion, and the characters are one of my favorite things about the show. So there'll be a lot more Ava stuff in the future. So I think there's quite a few videos on this particular figure. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I think there's a lot of people that had this figure here on YouTube, but I really like this figure. I'm definitely glad I picked it up, and it's my first Evangelion scale, so I'm really happy about that too. So let's go and get into the next item. Okay, it's time for the last item in this box, the biggest box we had today. And I'm sure you probably already know what this could be, but let's go ahead and get it out. So here we have the Remu Slime Plush. I've actually been looking for Remu Slime Plush for a while, and this is the one I went with. It's from a brand called, I think it's called K-Things. I don't know what the brand is or what the company is, but they made a really high quality plush here. But before even that, if you haven't watched That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, what are you doing? You need to watch that anime. It is an isekai. It's probably one of the better ones, and the first season is good, but the second season is when it just totally goes like totally metal and gets really sweet and has a lot of really cool stuff in it. Highly recommend this anime. Go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. This plush right here, oh my god. I've been hunting for one for a while, and this one's quality. It's like squishmallow stuffing, and the softness is about like a squishmallow as well. You know, we saw the pen from the other box, and that one was not really that high quality. And what I'm so amazed about with this one is the quality for the price. So this was about 2,700 yen for a 15-inch plush. You know, that's, you're really not going to beat that for this quality. Let's actually get into the details on it. So we have Rimuru in his slime form, the slime plush, and he's making kind of like the squinty, blushy type face, and it's really nice. The all this right here, like his little expression lines and everything, it's all stitched, embroidered, you know, right here, and then like even around the little blush right here, it's the same thing. It's all embroidered and stitched in, so it's not just like with an iron on or like a print on or anything like that. It's actually embroidered details on here as well, or it's not just like little fabrics just kind of like glued on there or pressed. It's all actually woven and stitched into the plush, which is really nice, not bad at all. So this plush definitely gets a thumbs up from me. You know, I just want to just like cuddle this thing and just, you know, use it as a pillow, you know, whatever. This plush is going to get the job done for all your cuddling and comfy needs, for sure. Okay, it's time to get into a little bit of the details about plush shipping prices, because oh my goodness, Ami in particular is crazy a lot. It's a lot to get something like this shipped over. So I went surface with this box, so it was this plush and the Rei I have over here, and it was like almost 5,000 yen for surface shipping for these two items. So, you know, obviously the main thing is the space that this guy takes up, and, you know, plushes just, they take up a lot of space, especially if you get like a medium to jumbo size or like an extra large, like that's going to be just astronomically expensive. But, you know, ones like this, not too bad compared to those bigger ones, but still, it's crazy. It's crazy a lot. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, so to do EMS, if I remember correctly, This was, I think, like almost 7,000 yen for the Ray figure and this plush here. This is a 2,700 yen plush, and when you have like shipping prices that are like twice the amount of the plush itself, that's when I'm kind of like, I don't know, but I like this one so much, I still had to go ahead and grab it. That's the last box. There's one more package. We got a fashion item that I got to get and show you guys. It's really cool, so let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, now on to the last item. Finally, here we have this little package right here, and inside this is actually an anime streetwear item. So boom, here we have this right here. It's actually a sweater. It's from this brand called Aparri, and I really like the packaging. You know, it comes in like this little Ziploc bag type thing. So let's go ahead and get it out. Okay. Boom. Okay, so this guy right here, you may have seen these around just like on the internet and stuff. They're from a brand called Aparri. I was able to get this through a restock that happened, you know, probably a couple of months ago now, and shortly after these went up for pre-order, and the pre-order period ended I think in early September, but I was able to grab this one on the restock. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the details about this. Okay, so a little bit more about the brand. It's from this brand called Aparri. It actually says it right here on the front. Very high quality sweater here. You know, this brand is known for some pretty high quality stuff, and they got the people like the Trash Taste guys kind of doing their merchandise as well. So I think it's safe to say that, you know, these guys are pretty reputable. And this is not a cheap sweater either. This thing was about $100 actually. So yeah, not the cheapest sweater. Okay, so the Aparri brand, they have a bunch of other kind of stuff too. They actually had another sweater kind of like this one. These sweaters are like the most sought after item that they have, but they came out with this one. It's like the tiger themed one with the navy blue, and then they also came out with the ox themed one. And that one was more like a forest green. So those were the two kind of color schemes, and I like those colors, so that's okay with me. But I had to get this one, but let's get into the details and I'll explain why. So first of all, this knit right here, this thing is crazy. It's got the little anime girl on here and this little tiger print, which is really cool, and it's got like some little like fire going on it. And yeah, I like this one better than the ox one. I actually thought the girl in the ox one was probably like more to my style or more to my liking, but this one was more like streetwear aesthetic on her, and she's wearing Jordans. The little anime character in the on here is wearing Jordan 1s. So that's right up my alley. That was another reason I was just like, oh yeah, I gotta get this one. And you know, I like the tiger animal more than like the ox, so that was another reason. Now, one of the other really cool details is actually the Aparri logo that's stitched in on the chest right here in white. You know, whenever you can get some good embroidery on something, I think that's always really good, just on clothes in general. And the inside of this thing is really soft. You know, it just, the outside of it feels like it's pretty nice material, very soft inside. And then of course, just this knitted sleeve is just incredible. I like the colors on it. It really kind of gives off like that almost like your grandmother or like a family member. This like a knitted, like at home DIY kind of knit aesthetic going on, but it's not. It's a mass produced thing. But I'm going to throw it on real quick and let you see what it looks like. And I'm actually going to be doing an entire fashion outfit with this sweater very soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But we'll give a little preview and throw it on and let you see how it looks. Okay, so this thing is very roomy. I think it actually has like a kind of like oversized design to it as well. So it's got a little extra room. I like that. You know, it feels very comfy, very cozy, you know, very soft, especially on this side. This sleeve right here, obviously it doesn't have like this soft material, so it's not quite as soft on this side, but this side is really nice as well. I think the other green one that came out, it has like more of this material on both, so I think that one might be a little bit more comfortable, but this one's got the really sweet sleeve. So overall, yeah, I'm definitely digging this. I'm glad I picked it up. Definitely check out Aparri. If you want to know more information about their drops, they have other hoodies and other just kind of, they have more like general anime kind of thing instead of like actual series. So it's more like original character type of stuff, or just, you know, kind of like random anime designs as opposed to like actual series. But they do have a couple of drops. I know that I think they did a Miku drop. But if you want to know more about their drops, they usually sell out fairly fast a lot of the time, just depending on what exactly is coming out. Like these sweaters flew. But yeah, if you want to check them out, I'd follow them on Twitter to, you know, get more information about their drops. Or you can also go to their website and sign up for their newsletter. That's how I was informed when this drop was going to happen, and I was able to get right in and be able to purchase this before it sold out. If you get there like right at the time when it says the drop is happening, you should be good to go. That's what I did, and I was able to easily check out and get this before they all sold out. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for my second haul video. I've been really excited to get to unbox all this stuff. Most of this stuff I haven't even seen yet or gotten to look at or unbox, and this time I decided to unbox most of it on camera. So I've been really looking forward to actually getting to see a lot of this stuff. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. I will be back. Y'all take it easy. Dorky Deviant out. Peace.